Okay, so I have a base coat of white down, and like I wanted to do last time in my last video, I wanted to show you all the lights working. And now I separated them all these wires out, and I got them going. So you take a look, see here. This is like I got a big fluorescent lamp going on here so that I can do my work here. So this is the kind of, at least you'll see the kind of illumination that if you were to do this, you know, in full brightness, this is what the lights would look like. So here's the left wing. Or no, that's the right wing, because we're looking at head on. And here's the other side. You see the strobe working. And here's the tail, which probably isn't true to scale because they're combined, but just because of the smallness of this scale, when I say it again, I wish I had a 1/32 scale I was building for my cousin instead of this 1/48. But that being said, I'll turn the light down and I can really see it. I don't know. When it's live, it looks really, really good. This side. And the tail. So at this point, I'm really pleased with it's how it's coming out. I want to put some stripes on it, some red and blue stripes. And that'll be the next part that comes down the pike. So that'll be what's coming next here. I'll put some striping on it and put the paint on, and that's what you'll see next. So I got some I got the first stripe on here, and this looks really sharp. You can see how sharp and crisp the lines are. I just used regular old magic Scotch tape because I tried using masking tape like you would on a car or something like that, like your real car, and that was a disaster. It was like, looked like a 3-year-old painted it, and I just, like I said, I'm just learning how to do this airbrush thing. So I'm really pleased how this came out. So and here's the decal sheet for it. I'm going to modify some of these decals to give a red, white, and blue color scheme to it. So let's just keep on moving forward here, and you'll soon see the finished product. This is the base I'm going to be using. This is like a wooden hobby base I got at the local store. Paid a few bucks for. The model comes with this base, which was a little bit taller this way, but this had to be trimmed off the top to accommodate the brass tube that's going to be going down through. So I took some measurements, kind of eyeballed it, and it's pretty much dead center, so I'll do that. And the base will sit on here like so. And it came with a nameplate too. And I'll have that sitting on there something like this, and that'll offset, you know, this part over here. And I'm gonna put sanding sealer on this, and I'm thinking just gloss black, and this will give a real stark background for the white airplane to show up real good. And I'm going to paint this red, white, and blue too, these markings. So that's coming down too. The base is coming along. I had to add some lumber, I guess, to the bottom of this to make it taller, because this wood right here I mean, it's barely thick enough to accommodate the battery packs. So I had to put a border on it and all that. I'm waiting for it to dry to sand it off. And then this in the center is going to support the brass tube. So we're just waiting for that to dry here for a little while so I can sand this down and put sanding seal on it, blah, blah, blah. And I was trying to mask off on the other side to fill in this gap right here, and well, I tell you what, I was not very successful. If this will focus, there we go. So now I have to recreate that striping there and then decide if I'm going to make it all red or try and put blue in between like I was trying before or whatever. So more work when you screw it up like that, I guess. This is what I've been able to do with the fuselage of the airplane model. These mini craft model kit decals, ever since my childhood right up to now, they're the worst decal set I have ever had to handle. Every time I try to mask off and fill in and try and recreate the original design scheme, it just pulled off the model and it was just a mess. So I painted one stripe down the whole side of the model, and I was able to find a skinny little white stripe from a decal set of a F-86 Sabre that I had ordered for another model to enhance for my own personal collection. And so this is going to be the final version of it. The stand's coming along. I got it primered and sanded, and this right here came with the model, was going to be the original stand. So I've got the opening fixed up with some balsa wood, and I'm waiting for some putty to dry to smooth that over. And we'll start putting some more coats of primer on it to get it as smooth as possible. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this before in a previous segment, but it comes with a nameplate. And I'm going to paint that up, and it's going to end up being on here, something like this, offset to the side to balance out the look of the original stand that came with the model. So this is all glued and sanded, and there's going to be plenty of space underneath for the battery compartments and switches later on to turn the effects off and on. So right now I'm just waiting for stuff to dry, and I'll take a final look over of the model and call it done. And we'll get the struts and landing gear on. I got the propeller painted, coming down to the end of the line here to finish this thing. I'll be so glad when it's done. Okay, we're moving along here. I got the struts and the landing gear on, and I'm not happy with this stripe on the side, there's jagged lines, all that stuff. So I came up with an idea. I'm going to cut all the straight edges off all these letters, and I'm going to chain them together. I got two of them going right now, all crossed here, and try and clean that line up. That's what I'm in the process of doing right now. And I got the first two on there from a couple letters, and it looks pretty good. Just trying to straighten that line out. Masking this off and trying to airbrush a line on just isn't going to make it, because the decals and the paint keep on lifting up from the surface. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Is it the fact that I'm using water-based craft paints or not? I don't know, but the more I try and do that, the worse it gets. So I'm done with that process. So this is where I'm going with this right now. And I'll come back when I get more of it done. We'll see how it's going to go. Okay, so I got the line done. It looks pretty good. The model's coming together, and I got coat of gloss black on the base here, and start putting my gloss coats on this thing. The props on, got that painted and so forth. So, moving forward here, we're almost done. Coming down to the end of the line here finally. And I'll be able to give this to my cousin. I'm going to close this video out. The next episode, which will be the last episode for this build series, you'll see it finished on its pedestal with the name plaque all finished and everything. Got everything operational. You see the motor running there. I'll turn the lights down. Yeah, that landing light's super bright. So hopefully you stuck around to the end of this video. Appreciate the subscribers. I got 3 or 4 new ones this past week. Thanks for coming on board and watching my stuff. I want to finish this project up and move on to the Pontiac. It's been a long time coming. 1 or 2 things to tidy up on the pickup truck, and that'll be going into storage, and I can put that aside for a while, and then we'll start dropping the tank on a Pontiac and putting some doodads on that thing. So please like and subscribe and share. Once again, thanks for stopping by. Stay safe and have a good summer. Thank you.